Check 1 2. Check 1 2. If you are, in fact, within an earshot of my melodious voice, then that can only mean one thing and one thing only. People, I got some good news for you. I got some really good news for you. If you can hear me, then that can only mean one thing and one thing only. You are now in tune for another glorious episode of the one and only Dignified Bastard Podcast. Clap! Yep. Soak it in. Yep. Soak it on in. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Let the intelligent ignorance begin. Damn, that was loud. I am so sorry for that. I am your host for this afternoon's ride. All right. And of course, my name is what? That's right. Dave, the goddamn junkyard Jedi. Look here, man. I am just as excited as you are. I'm happy to be here. I am. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. I'm grateful. Grateful to be alive. You know what I mean? Some people didn't, wake up this morning. And I ain't gonna do the whole, doom and gloom thing. But, some people ain't make it. Some people was here yesterday, right? And they didn't get a chance to say what they needed to say. They didn't get a chance to express themselves. They didn't get a chance to, tell the truth about something. They didn't get a chance to communicate how they felt to family, loved ones, etc., etc. Well, if you are here and you are listening to me, then I'm grateful, because unlike those people that I just mentioned, right, that didn't get those chances for whatever reason, we don't know what those reasons were, you know what I mean? But they are no longer, in the land of the living, quote unquote. But I am, and we are. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to take care of my opportunity to express myself truthfully, authentically, and all that good jazz, all right? I just appreciate you, right? The loyal listeners of the Dignified Bastard Podcast. You know what I'm saying? I just appreciate you guys, coming through and showing your support, whether you listen to the Dignified Bastard Podcast on YouTube or any of the audio streaming platforms. I do appreciate you, man. Enough shout out to all y'all. You know what I mean? I don't care where you at. You know what I mean? Anywhere you are on the globe, right? Anyway, you on the globe, man. If you listen to the Dignified Podcast, big up yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you one of these too. Gonna give you some of that, right? Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? People have got to receive their flowers when they can appreciate them. All right. So, man, what's been going on? What's been going on? Let's just have a conversation. All right. We ain't gonna dive too deep. You know what I mean? Because, My daughter wants me to play video games with her, and I'm a father. That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? Big up yourself if you are. Let me rephrase that. You know what? I ain't gonna rephrase that. Fuck that. Yeah, I ain't gonna rephrase that. I'm a father and a dad. You know what I mean? So, I ain't gonna rephrase that. Right? The same way I'm God and man. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Don't make me start teaching up in here. You know what I'm saying? Shit. We going from the book of Nigalations, goddamn. That's right, Mike. Nah, let me stop playing. But I got some dope stuff to share with you guys. I'm getting tongue tied and shit. See, I get nervous. Moment of truth. Shout out to Gangstar. I get nervous a little bit when I ain't been on here in a while, man. So, you know what I'm saying? It take me a little while to loosen up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a damn sure get there. You know what I mean? Kind of like when Michael Jordan came back. I can make this reference because finals just finished, right? Jordan came back. I don't know, the fourth time. Let me stop. Now he was playing with the Wizards, right? He was playing for the Wizards, and I believe his number was 45, right? Was he 45 with the Wizards? Somebody looked that up. Let me look that shit up. But either way, Mike still would get you, he get you some good buckets. You know what I'm saying? And, either way, it was still Mike. You know what I mean? Like, so even though I'm getting tongue-tied and I'm getting nervous, once I get loosened up, y'all know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Direct, you know what I mean? Channeled messages from, you know what I mean? Spirit. So don't play with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to give myself my flowers. You know what I'm saying? Clap it up. Shit. Clap that shit up. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it. So, what's happening, man? Like, what's been going on in the news? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really, pay attention to the news per se. I don't, but I do. Now, I'm not gonna front. A bunch of what I know about, what happens in the world. I get it. Like, I get it when I go to YouTube, right? That's when I get it. And by then, it's old news, So, like I said, it's not that it's not that I don't, necessarily know what's going on. It's just that by the time I get to talking about it on my platform, it's kind of like old news or whatever. But that's okay, right? That's okay. Because that's just how fast information, moves in this particular realm, what we commonly refer to as the information age, right? The information age. So information, in my humble opinion, don't quote me on this, and I don't want to be debated about it, but see, information that we are reading, right, is nothing but visual consciousness. Follow what I'm saying. right? Follow what I'm saying, because in terms of everything being energy, frequency, and vibration, right? Those are three states of matter, shall we say, that are always in constant abundance, right? It's either kinetic or potential energy. You dig what I'm saying? So kinetic means transferring of energy on the go. So that means even our thought forms, our consciousness, right? When it gets enhanced, it doesn't matter if something that you are reading or something that you are listening to, right, is going to create a frequency, add to a frequency, right? So until we begin to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, my friends, right, it's going to be hard to understand a concept, right? Even though it's a loose concept, right? I haven't heard that anywhere before. What I told y'all, Jordan with the 45 with the Wizards. Let me warm up on that ass. Watch what happens. You dig what I'm saying? So just let me warm up. Let me get a few shots off. Nah, what I'm saying is information that we read, right? Information that we write. Those are streams of consciousness, right? We just see them and know them and are familiar with them, you know what I mean, as, papers, books, you know what I'm saying, brochures, right? So in order for your brain to process it, right, holistically, because that's what the subconscious is going to do, right? The conscious mind, right, is going to, tell you, what it is based on your own subconscious interest or subconscious appetite, right? So if this conversation is not appealing to you, yeah, you've already, passed me by, right? But if you are on the frequency of raising your consciousness, right, then you understand, probably where I'm coming from, right? Because that's kind of getting into this episode today. I want to just kind of go over, certain aspects of a concept, right? And how this concept, connects and relates to other things. Because, once again, holistically speaking, everything is connected, right? Those who pose to be the powers that be, quote unquote, they will draw lines and borders, build walls and bridges, and whatnot to, keep this idea that, things are separate, Democrat, Republican. But as you should know by now, everything is connected, whether it's loosely connected or directly linked, right? It's up to you to find, where the strings are, you know what I mean? That's up to you. If you don't feel like, these things are connected and whatnot, no problem. But today is June the 15th, right? Today's Thursday, June the 15th, right? According to Supreme Mathematics, today is knowledge. Let me see. I wrote it down. because I wanted to be accurate. Today is knowledge, power, refinement, or being born to equality. Okay, that's 15. That's 1 plus 5 equals 6. All right. 6 on the Kabbalistic tree of life is the sephiroth, Tiferet, right there in the middle, right? It's also, related to Dharma, right? It's also related to Dharma. And Dharma, there's no set in stone definition for Dharma, but let's just say we're going to say that Dharma is righteousness, religious moral duties of the individual regarding his or her conduct. Okay, so that's what Dharma is. That's our little, we can make our own definitions, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how you are going to understand it, right? You have to put it in your own terms, right? Nobody can tell you, love is like this. You have to experience love for yourself, right? Bingo, right? But anyway, talking about that Dharma, right? Talking about that that knowledge, power, refinement, or being born to equality, right? All things being equal, right? Equality, right? See, in Buddhism, Dharma is cosmic law. Ooh. This shit kind of writes itself, all right? It really does, It kind of writes itself. Say that one more time. In Buddhism, okay, Dharma is cosmic law. Yeah, Mike. That's some cold shit. Cosmic law. All right. Let's go back to the Kabbalah Tree of Life. The 6 sephiroth on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, commonly associating with spirituality, balance, integration, beauty, miracles, compassion. Man, what? I take some more of that. I take some more spirituality, balance, integration, beauty, miracles, compassion. Shit. That sound like what's that? Them gifts of the spirit. Remember that from church? I know I do. Yeah, that sounds like the gifts of the spirit. Some of the gifts of the spirit, balance, integration, beauty, miracles, compassion, right? The idea is to not say that I'm right, you're wrong, because maybe you don't ever make these connections, right? These are just some of the connections that I've made, and I'm sharing them with you. And that's kind of what it is, just sharing information. But yeah, the name associated with Tiferet, is Adonai Elohim. Wow. Right. Now, this is interesting too. This is something that I just learned, right? There's this book, right, called the Bahir. I hope I'm saying that right. Bahir. Bahir. But it's the book of clarity, book of illumination, right? An anonymous mystical work attributed to a first century rabbi sage, right? But anyway, why do I even bring that up? I bring that up because as far as sephiroth is concerned, right? There's a whole book, or this is one of, of however many pieces of literature directly related to sephiroth, the heart, right? Symbolic of the heart. So let's just stop for a second, right? We're still talking about Dharma, right? Righteousness, moral duties of the individual regarding his or her conduct. Okay, so let's keep Dharma over here. Let's not forget Dharma, right? Go back to the heart. Put a pin in it right there. Go back to the heart. Once again, there's this book called the Bahir, known as the Book of Clarity / Book of Illumination, right? Book of Illumination, Book of Clarity, talking about sephiroth, but sephiroth is directly related or symbolic of the heart. Sits right there in the middle of the tree of life. Right there in the middle. But what's striking me as interesting is the fact that this thing is called the Book of Clarity, the Book of Illumination. Ooh. Shit kind of giving me fits. Kind of giving me fits, man. I don't know. Can't figure this one out. Can't figure this one out. Anyway, I'm gonna have to phone a friend. I'm gonna have to call on, Tahuti. I call on Tahuti. I call on Bastet. I call on Baron Samdi. Now, let me get back to it. Shoot, man, I call on the Nagas, you know what I'm saying? I fucks with the Nagas. I don't know about y'all. You did. I fucks with the Nagas, Anyway, like I was saying, very interesting, once again, that the name Adonai Elohim is associated with sephiroth. Sephiroth on the Tree of Life, right in the center, has to deal with the heart. At the center of it all, the heart, right? Mystical book from the first century, right? An anonymous work, yeah, right. I believe whenever they say anonymous, they really mean that this is the work of a few individuals, right? This is a multiplicity, right? Of literature, consciousness, right? Textual consciousness. This is all it's all information is, right? That's why it's called information. You're taking it in, and it has to take form inside of you, right? Asian, go ahead and throw a C in that. That's code for action, right? So until you are informed, you'll never take action on what it is that you took in the first place, right? That's just a little bit of decoding the English language. What the teacher, Brother C. Freeman L., the elder, the ascended master, taught was the English language is a codex inscriptus, right? And just so you know, and I ain't tooting my own horn, but he's available in the astral. He waiting on folks to talk to. He's still teaching. Word is bond. But back to what was I talking about? The heart. Book of clarity. Book of illumination. But even going back a little bit further, Adonai Elohim roughly translates to my God. What do they mean? My God. What do you mean? Illumination. I thought illumination came in, right? Through the quote unquote sixth chakra, which is the third eye chakra, the ajna, right? Put a pin in that, right? Because according to numerology, the number 6 is the embodiment of the heart. It represents unconditional love. Damn. Look at that. And it also represents the ability to support, nurture, and heal. Wow. 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 Sounds a little bit, right? All things being connected. The heart has to operate with a certain level or measure of Dharma, righteousness, moral duties of the individual regarding his or her conduct, regardless of what one may have been conditioned to, programmed, yeah, right? Just marinate on that for a little bit. That heart is ever so important. Commonly referred to as one of the 3 brains? Right. Book of clarity. Yo, come on, son. Your heart has to be right. Oh, man. Your heart. if I do recall anything from spending all those years in church, it was a scripture that says something like, Jesus, you know, stands at the door and knocks, right? And of course, they, making reference to the heart. But it's like, whoa, that's dope. That's dope. And why might that be dope? That might be dope, right? Because think about if you were heart driven more so than head driven, right? Think about it. Just for a second. Bow. Got it? Think about it, right? Think about your life presently now. And once again, let me make this statement, put this disclaimer out here. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on TV or nothing like that, right? This is just me having a conversation, sharing some things with some faithful, loyal ass listeners. You know what I'm saying? And some new ones too, right? But anyway, think about your life and some decisions that may have, turned out differently had you been heart driven, not head driven, right? Makes a bit of a difference, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit, right? Right? Because we all have some type of righteous or moral code. We do. Right? Like I said, man, we have to, in my opinion, of course, we have to give a personal face to these things. We have to connect ourselves to a moral code. Right? Let's connect ourselves to a moral code, to a moral system, a personal one. Right? A personal one. Right? If everything's connected, you just can't throw your own personal moral system onto the culture you live in or the society that you live in simply because you want to and you think it's best for everybody to live their life the same way you do. That is incorrect. In my opinion, of course, right? This is your reality, right? So the confines of your reality, each and every one of us has to ask ourselves, how much grace are we extending to reality, and how much are we allowing reality to influence us on a day-to-day basis, right? Like I said in the beginning of the episode or whatever, like a lot of stuff, if it doesn't move me, I don't just jump on a mic and start talking. And, some people might say, well, that's good for creativity, just to kind of flow with the moment and whatnot. And I'm not saying that that's wrong or right or indifferent. I've done that. Shit. Oh, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Because I believe at heart, I'm a jazz musician. And impromptu to me was, the best kind of jazz. You know what I mean? Spur of the moment type shit. But guess what? That has to come from the heart. It got to come from the heart. Right? It has to come from the heart. This is not to convince you that Dharma is a code or principle that you should live by. Have you looked around lately? Right? Look around. People live by their own codes anyway, right? You are inherently doing that same thing. You living by your own code, your own playbook, right? Your own strategy. You're not relying on nobody else. And if you are, and that's okay if you are. But if you are not sure, you know what I'm saying, then, maybe you should question some things. That's all I'm saying. Always be curious, right? Be curious. That's all I'm saying. Be curious, right? A lot of times we associate ourselves with a certain demographic group of people, a certain, cult, dare I say, and we don't know why. We just do, right? We haven't checked our heart, right? We haven't checked our heart. Power knowledge, power, refinement, right? My knowledge can only be acted upon only after it has been refined. And how is it refined, right? It's by having these intrapersonal conversations, right? That's what you should be doing, in my opinion. Of course, we all should be doing that, right? But now is the best time, right? And why, might you ask, that now is the best time? And I say that, and this is, once again, just my opinion. But I think we're at the beginning, the starting stages of the U.S.'s, what is that? Shit. Sound like a retard. Let me stop. Pluto's return, right? And during Pluto's return is a point when, astrologically, Pluto was, I think, closer or something like that. But the last time that happened was at the formation of the United States, right? So it represents big change, right? And, I'm not telling anybody out there to live their life 100% by what, is said astrologically and all that good jazz. If that's your thing, then, go with that. But, I'm not saying do it or don't. Always try to make that clear because, somebody will pin that shit on you. Well, you said, I didn't say that. But anyway, I think it's good to know, facts like that because, once again, let's not forget we're dealing with energy, frequency, vibration, of which we all have. We all have a frequency, personal frequency. You might refer to it as an energetic signature, right? Everybody has one, right? And that's why we look to astrology and numerology and things like that, because, we try to get further insight as to who we are, right? Because once you awaken, so to speak, to a certain reality, you realize that the name on your birth certificate, yeah, that is you to a certain degree. But what you also have to realize, and I always used to wonder about this, like there's like so many other yous. Like, say your name is Jeffrey Williams. That's like a billion of y'all. I'm just, maybe exaggerating, but there's a dime dozen of people with the same exact names, right? But yet, we trip out about clones and doppelgangers and all this shit. But, there's a million Jeffrey Williams, right? So what's going to make you Jeffrey Williams, imaginary dude, different from the rest of them, is that Jeffrey Williams is going to have to awaken to who Jeffrey Williams really is on the inside, right? Not his identity, but his divinity. You know what I'm saying? If you will. Shout out to Cam and Yeah, so he's going to have to shed, who he has been assigned to, right? Some Trojan horse type shit. That's what this thing is about, really. Sneaking behind the conscious mind by learning shit that you already knew as far as your soul knowledge is concerned. That's why I don't come on here and just dive into a whole bunch of information and shit like that, because you already know this. Are you hearing what I'm saying? You already know. We all know this. The Bible says it very clearly. Let those who have ears to hear, hear. Right? The word the word heart has hear in it. Wow, look at that. Look at that. It also has ear in it. And this is not right. I gotta make this disclaimer too. This is not on some mind versus the heart. It's gonna be a Royal Rumble. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a brawl for it all. The heart versus the head. Damn it. No, man. That is not. That's what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Both are equally important. Right? Both are equally important. Both are equally important. Let's not forget that. All right? Talking about the heart and the head. But interesting enough, right? That my beard keep getting caught in the mic. Beard game strong, but interestingly enough, this whole thing about the heart and Dharma makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know. Maybe I'm just, crazy like that for thinking that in order for a moral code or a moral system that an individual might have, could not be connected or related to the heart. The heart would have to be the balancing point, one would think, right? For any individual, right? That's why the elevation of consciousness now is so important, right? Because C19 took place, right? Dealt with the air. Air is a mental element. The mentality, voice cracking and shit. The mentality is related to air. Air relationship to the head and all that good jazz. It would seem to me that next go around with whatever, they decide to pull to move us in a direction, it's going to have to deal with the heart. But you can say that whole situation even started with a shot to the heart with Kobe Bryant's death. Him and the passengers on that helicopter. That was a shot to the heart. Boom. You dig what I'm saying? Symbolically speaking, him being the black mamba, dying, perishing that way, killing the Kundalini energy, which really is wisdom. It's not just sexual energy that motherfuckers always want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you super metaphysical motherfuckers be like, well, that's still sex, my nigga. Like, I got it. I get it. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Magical nigga and shit. You know what I'm saying? God damn, bro. I get it. One angry ass smart dude, man. But yeah. Maybe that was the shot to the heart. Then bow. Let's hit him in the head. They had to go up, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of head work. Shout out to LL Cool J. Head sprung. So by now, I hope I've kind of made a connection a little bit more clear about the relationship, right, with the heart and and sephiroth, beauty, tree of life, right? Dharma, righteousness, moral duties of the individual regarding his or her conduct. Yeah. In Buddhism, Dharma is cosmic law. Cosmic law. Cosmic law. Knowledge, power, refinement, all being born to equality, balance. 6. 6. 6 is sex. right? Some numerology real quick about number 6. 6 is the center of the mind, thinking plane, where it represents creativity and the integration of the left and right lobes of the brain. All right now. Right? Left and right lobes of the brain. Right? Masculine, feminine. Everybody has those aspects. You know, and if you've been rocking with the Dignified Bastard podcast, then you know that I don't spend a whole lot of time on that whole masculine, feminine energy thing. I just don't. And it's not that I think, you know, I'm too good for that shit or something like that. It's just that I don't know. I don't think it's the right time for me to go into, you know, the aspects of divine feminine and masculine that I want to touch on, right? Because we always talk about, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. We always talk about the differences, right? The opposites, the opposition. Well, balance can only be attained by, you know what I'm saying, two things being at an equal point. So you have to talk about the similarities of the two and how they complement each other. And maybe there are some folks who do that and who have done that. I'm sure that has been, right? But I want to do it in my own kind of, you know, cool ass way. So more to come. Stay tuned. Anyway, 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh on. I bet you I ain't know, or maybe you did. I bet you I ain't know that 6 was, or the sixth planet is Saturn. That's right. The name of your precious Saturn. Because I don't know, like, I can't speak for nobody else. I was actually born on a Saturday. You know what I'm saying? I was born on a Saturday. Remember that shit? Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday, it's a Saturday. De La Soul, right? Yeah, I was born on a Saturday, man. That's cool. But of course, Saturn is the sixth planet. It's the second largest planet in the solar system, you know. And on top of that, you know, they had some really reliable cars back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Bruh. My bad. Had to do it. Remember Saturns, man? Y'all remember Saturn? All right, bro. What up? Anyway, Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Saturn got them rings too when you playing. Saturn got rings. But in Roman mythology, Saturn, this could be why, you know, our people love Saturday so much, because Saturn was the god of time in Roman mythology. He was also the god of generation, dissolution, abundance, wealth, agriculture, periodic renewal, liberation. Right? Liberation? You know, and see, I don't want folks to get caught up in, you know, romanticism to a degree when it comes to this information, right? I'm not saying that Saturn was real, right? I'm not saying any of that shit. Or that you should worship Saturn and all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying none of that. What I'm saying is, this is some pretty dope information, right? And if you find it useful, right? The idea, right? Book of Clarity, remember? Book of Illumination. Oh shit. Ajna. Sixth chakra. Just like Saturn is the sixth planet in the solar system. Saturday is the sixth day of the week, right? According to our calendar over here or whatever, right? No, but I was saying that you should relate this to yourself, right? You should relate this to yourself. That's the point in the idea that we tend to forget when we talk about these deities being worshipped during quote unquote ancient times, right? The festivals, the celebrations, the offerings, sacrifices, things of that nature given to these gods was because the people felt as if they were in some type of reciprocal relationship with these deities. If I give them an offering of fruit, vegetables, livestock, as a farmer, Saturn, right, who's a god of wealth and agriculture, he gonna show me love. He gonna bless me right in return, right? He's also the god of time, abundance, right? So he got me on a return. You know, he got me on a return. He got me. Right? So this sounds a lot like, you know, the ideology associated with the Christian God, you know, Yahweh or whatever. You know, whatever you use to refer to him, or, you know, whatever you call that mother. I don't know. You know, whatever you call him. Right? So think about it in that way. You know, I think, you know what I'm saying, that helps folks who kind of struggle with that. Because I did struggle with that. I'm like, man, how could he? Because they had so many deities, right? They had so many deities in Roman mythology and Greek mythology and, you know, so on and so forth. They had all these deities, right? But you have to think that these are doing, you know, different dynasties and whatnot, right? Different dynasties that usually probably only lasted for a couple of centuries or so, right? But like I said, going back to Saturn was, you know, also the Greek titan Kronos, Father Time. Right? Father Time. Right? That's where the name Saturnalia comes from, right? Remember, Saturnalia was the inspiration for what? Christmas. That's right. You dig what I'm saying? Right? And if I'm not mistaken, like in the original beginnings of Saturnalia, it was a festival in which a ceremony would take place when the slaves and the owners, slaves and masters, would swap places just for the purposes of the celebration. Right? Just for the purposes of Saturnalia, that was it. Like, don't get carried away, my nigga. Tomorrow, right back to business as usual. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't play. Bitch. You still doing the dishes tomorrow. Like, fuck that. You know? But, now, interesting how, you know, all of this stuff connects, right? Once again, going back to sephiroth, relating it to number 6, symbolic of the sun, right? Center of our solar system, right? Once again, the 6th chakra, it's the third eye, ajna, right? Possibly what the Bhagavad Gita refers to as the divine eye, right? The divine eye, right? Intuition, right? Hold on, bruh. You talking about the heart. What the heart got to do with intuition, my nigga? My voices ain't popping today. I don't know what's going on. The heart has everything to do with intuition. Come on, bruh. You ain't really just ask me that. You just asked me that. You did. You couldn't have. You ain't just ask me that. The heart has everything to do with intuition. All right? Everything. You can't have clarity. Can't have clarity. Can't have illumination if you don't have a open heart, right? Right? And see, let me explain something to y'all, right? Because people be like, man, you know, I got a heart full of love. I got a heart full of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Unconditional love. And I don't understand what this whole open heart mean, right? How I'm gonna have an open heart and a heart full of unconditional love? It don't make no sense. I'm not understanding. This shit ain't jiving. Right? Well, dare I say, the heart, in order for a person to have or reach a level of unconditional love, there has to be a large amount of openness. Openness is honesty. Openness is abundance, right? Openness, abundance, righteousness, right? The embodiment of the heart, number 6, represents unconditional love, right? What did I say? Buddhism said that shit was cosmic law. Come on, man. That shit is cosmic law. Cosmic? Yeah, Mike. cosmic law, right? This is the Dharma plus unconditional love sandwich right here, right? Cosmic law, Dharma, sephiroth, commonly associated with spirituality, balance, integration, beauty, miracles, compassion. How you gonna do that without an open heart? Explain that shit. Explain your goddamn self. I need answers. How you gonna do that? And you worried about another pandemic or whatever. Come on, man. Come on, man. We all got personal reconstructing to do, right? Once again, knowledge, power, refinement. All being born to equality. Now I'm balanced, right? My heart is not occupied by the worries or the weight of the world, so to speak. Am I saying close your heart off from mankind? Nope, not saying that, right? Because within our individual Dharma, lies our thoughts on mankind and society. So if you ain't got no hope for mankind, you ain't gonna run out and try to, knock the kid out the way of the car. You're gonna be like, shit, motherfucker should have looked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, truth be told, Now, of course, free will and, all that shit plays into it as well. Right? Because as we all know, everything goes in cycles. Right? But dare I say, if you are living the type of life where you don't even have to say it out loud, you just know that you want some whole service to others type shit, your Dharma is going to reflect that. You dig what I'm saying? Your Dharma is going to reflect that. I don't have to keep telling everybody that. I'm going to automatically run out there and knock the kid out the way of the oncoming car. Right? That's what it is. Right? I mean, all that stuff about it being cosmic law, that's great. Right? But as above, so below. Okay? As within, so without. Right? Right? I have this theory, right? It's my own personal theory, right? That let's just say, for the sake of conversation, I did a smooth Umar Johnson. Y'all heard that? Anybody heard that? Anybody hear that? Come on, man. Give me some on that. Thought that was kind of funny. It was subtle. Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, that none of these, oh no, how can I say this? None of these universal laws mean anything, right? Let's just, for the sake of conversation, they don't mean nothing. Then on the other side of that, and this might be an extreme case, but on the other side of that, let's just say something like the Georgia Guidestones means everything, right? Because as far as the master teachers were concerned, the more they, make something appear like it's meaningless, the more significant it is, right? So let's just say that there's no plot, right, to call the masses, right? There's no plot for depopulation. Let's just say ain't none of that going on. Do you think, my question is, do you think that they would want a population full of people who know what their own personal dharma is, and that they know dharma is cosmic law? Or would they rather have a world full of people who were ignorant of that particular information? Just think about it. Just think about it. Just take a second. I ain't gonna take up too much more of your time. Yeah. All right now. Yep. Once again, I'd like to thank you all for rocking with the one and only Dignified Bastard Podcast. Oh man, it's a pleasure to do this. It really is, man. I think I finally got the rust off. My lips ain't as heavy. Ain't getting tongue-tied and shit like that. But nah, man. Talking about this Dharma, right? See, call me crazy, call me whatever you want, just get my cash app right. Nah, I'm just playing. Call me crazy, but we're talking about Dharma, right? And how it relates to an individual's life. And like I said before, man, everything is connected, right? The more that it looks as if it's not connected, it is, all right? And I'm gonna prove that a little bit, I think. But let me just say this. A couple of months back, right, Netflix had a particular documentary on, right? Knowledge, power, refinement. Yeah, I got you, Spirit. I got you. They had a particular documentary on, right? And it fascinated a lot of people, right? Fascinated a lot of people. And y'all probably saw it, and you know what it is. Shit, I ain't no sucker, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say what it is. This shit was called Dharma. Come on through. Throat chakra. Come on through. It was called Dharma, right? Today I'm talking about Dharma. What we need to in my humble opinion, understand is that we are working, not necessarily. All right, let me rephrase this. The thoughts and opinion being expressed on a dignified podcast of those of the Junkyard Jedi and the Junkyard Jedi alone, right? This is not to sway you to the left, to the right, or to wherever, right? I want you to land softly wherever it is that you land, right? But in my land, this is what it is, right? What we have to understand and what we have to come to terms with is that every day we are bombarded with codes that are inscripted inside of this thing that we call the English language, right? English language, right? Like I said, Dharma. So we come across these words that sound and look alike a lot of times, but they will be, for all intents and purposes, complete polar opposites of each other, right? Dharma, once again, is righteousness, religious, moral duties to the individual of the individual regarding his or her conduct. Dharma, it's a murderous son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Got the nerve to call me an animal, but in Milwaukee there's a cannibal. You know what I mean? Shout out to X Clan forever. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, what we have to realize, right? What we have to come to terms with is that we're dealing with some magicians of, trigonology and, all type of, quote unquote, magic. And magic cannot be effective, right, without the heart, right? And a lot of their quote unquote rituals, the symbol for the heart or something symbolic, symbolizing, representing the heart will be used in that sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying? This is how important the heart is. This is how important balance is. This is how important cosmic law is, right? But we can't rush to complete cosmic law and you haven't initiated individual law upon thine self, right? I don't mean to preach, I don't mean to boast, but one thing I know the most is that it's know thyself, right? That's what you should be running to. That's what we should be running to first, right? And I can hear somebody now. Well, if it's, your own universe, my own universe, then my law is cosmic law. Yeah, go ahead, Mario. You got it. Your law is cosmic law, right? That's the whole point, right? I self law and master. I self Lord and master, right? Right? This is the purpose of the Trinity in Christianity, right? Father, Son, Holy Ghost. One of them represents the heart. The Trimurti in Hinduism. Was it Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva? The creator, the destroyer, and the life giver or something like that, right? One represents the heart, and don't get it twisted, because the heart, when it's full of hatred, you're talking about a whole nother energy, right? You're talking about a whole nother energy that is the destructive side, so to speak, of the number 6, right? Right? Think about it like this. Doctor Strange, the second joint, right? It was 2 books. Bang, bang. Right? One was the Book of Vishanti, and the other one was the Dark Spell. Right? 2 different books. Right? The Bible and Demonology. King James wrote both of them. So they say, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? 2 different books. Right? Our hearts are like books. Right? According to what your personal Dharma is, you're going to write on or in the book of your heart, right? Either good or bad, so to speak. It's how we make it relate. It's how we make it relate. So once again, class, in closing, let's go ahead and wrap up. I think I ran through all my notes. I even ran through them like multiple times. Right? Right? Also, in astrology, Saturn is the planet of restrictions, right? The color is black, associated with black, right? You want to feel powerful on Saturday, wear black, right? Right? Represents chaos. Chaos. Right? I talked about 6 in relation to the 6th chakra. And if I didn't say it, let me say it now. If you are in the business of opening or activating and keeping them activated, you know what I'm saying? If you are in the business of activating your chakras, right? Don't fool yourself. Don't fool yourself. You can forget about a open third eye chakra if you have not, I repeat, if you have not done the shadow work to activate that heart chakra. I felt like somebody whispered that shit over my shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Right. They connected, baby. It's all connected, baby. Right? What my man told Malcolm X in prison, I'm telling you God's word, this ain't no jive. You know what I'm saying? I do a lot of, niggling. I ain't gonna lie. You dig what I'm saying? I niggles, Don't nobody nig like me, But, I do feel like I come with the information in a colorful way that, you know what I'm saying, is easy to digest, right? You know, shit, you can call it part conspiracy or whatever. I don't give a damn. It is what it is. You gonna call it something, you know. But the point is, there's no need to, argue the information, because truth is at the heart of the matter, right? Interestingly enough, we're talking about sephiroth, right? Talking about Dharma, and we're talking about the heart. And what did I just say? Truth is at the heart of the matter, right? That's what's important. Truth, right? So Dharma has to deal with your personal truth, right? And there's no way, simply just no factual way that you can ever obtain any idea of a identity, a personal truth, without activating that heart, man. I'm sorry. It is what it is, folks. That's what it is. You know, let me leave you with that. You know what I'm saying? You know, it is what it is. You know, you gotta have that heart, right? You gotta have that work done on yourself, right? You know, I don't want to be one of these people who focus on shadow work like so much, because you got to do work on one side as well as the other. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just put it to you like that, right? But it's an equal exchange, right? Because your dharma will reflect the shadow work that you're doing. I don't know if I said that earlier, but your dharma will reflect that, right? Think about where you are right now and where you would like to be. But first of all, be grateful for where you are, right? Saw a statistic not too long ago. That shit said, if you got I don't care how bad you got it, right? I don't care how bad you got it. It said, if you live in a house with a roof, some windows, doors, you know, you got, you know, enough food to last a couple days, right? Transportation and all that good shit. Like, you better off than like 75% of the world's population. I ain't talking about like one country's population. That shit said the world. I'm like, come on, man. The world? Like, really? That was astounding, right? First of all. Second of all, you know, that's another reason to be grateful. A lot of us don't know where to start with being grateful. That's a good place. Shit, you're doing better than 75% of the world. That's a lot of people. There's a lot of people, right? You know, you come walking out the bank from the ATM, I stick your ass up. You know, you got $100. If I only take 25 and leave you with 75, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be that mad. You just be like, that's a weird robbery. This nigga only took $25. That's all I needed. Thank you. You know? But yeah, that was today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, man. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is the Junkyard Jedi. You have been listening to the one, the only Dignified Bastard Podcast. Give yourselves a round of applause. Like I said, man, I appreciate the support, right? Like, subscribe, pass it on. You know what I mean? If you enjoy my banter and all that shit, you know, If not, you must have some fucked up Dharma. Now I'm just playing. But man, I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. Dealing with me, right? I'll see y'all next time, man. Enjoy yourself. Happy Juneteenth. Peace.